Does anyone here object to this union? Speak now, or forever hold your peace. The words hung in the air of the ridiculously ornate church, thick as humidity. You know that moment? The one in movies where everyone kind of looks around, a bit of a chuckle ripples through the crowd, and then the ceremony moves on. Yeah, that didn't happen. Instead, every single head, including my brother Liam's, turned to look at me. But I wasn't the one they should have been looking at. They should have been looking at the bride, Chloe. Because as the preacher asked that fateful question, her eyes, wide and glassy, locked directly onto mine. She didn't look at her soon-to-be husband. She didn't look at her mom or dad. She looked at me, the best man. And in that split second, I saw a universe of panic, regret, and something else, something that made my stomach turn to ice. She gave the slightest, almost imperceptible shake of her head, a silent plea. And I knew, right then and there, that I had a choice. I could be the good brother, the quiet best man who kept his mouth shut for the sake of family peace. Or I could be the guy who saved his brother from the biggest mistake of his life, even if it meant blowing everything to kingdom come. Let me tell you, the explosion was even bigger than I imagined. And it all started less than 24 hours earlier, over a plate of lukewarm chicken and 3 too many glasses of champagne. To really get it, you have to understand the players here. There's me, Mark. I'm the older brother, the responsible one, the quiet one. I'm an architect. I like things to have structure, to make sense. Then there's my brother, Liam. He's the golden child. Always has been. He's a great guy, honestly, but he lives his life in this bubble of sunshine and optimism where nothing truly bad ever happens. Our parents, well, they're the ones who built the bubble. To them, Liam is the star quarterback who can do no wrong, and I'm the reliable team manager who makes sure his helmet is polished. And then there's Chloe. Liam met Chloe in college. She was magnetic. One of those people who walks into a room and just owns it. She's beautiful, funny, charming as hell. My parents fell for her harder than Liam did. She was perfect. The perfect match for their perfect son. From the moment she was introduced, she was basically canonized into the family. Saint Chloe of the perfect smile. From the beginning, though, something felt off. To me, anyway. It was the way she'd look at me a second too long. The way her hand would brush against mine when she passed me a drink. Little things you could easily dismiss. And I did. For years. I told myself I was imagining it. I mean, seriously, who wants to be that guy? The brother who thinks his future sister-in-law is hitting on him? It's egotistical and, worse, it's a drama bomb waiting to go off. So I played my part. I was friendly but distant. The perfect future brother-in-law. I convinced myself it was all in my head. The engagement happened last year. It was a huge deal. My parents were over the moon. Liam was walking on air. And Chloe was happy. But whenever I saw her at family gatherings, celebrating with everyone, her eyes would find mine across the room, and she'd have this little, secret smile. It was unsettling. It was a smile that said, "Isn't this all just hilarious?" I buried that feeling. I stuffed it down and focused on my best man duties. I helped Liam pick out tuxes. I planned a bachelor party that was fun but respectable. I wrote a speech that was heartfelt and completely devoid of any weird, underlying tension. I was doing everything right. Which brings us to the rehearsal dinner. It was at a fancy country club our parents belonged to. The room was filled with flowers and laughter and the clinking of glasses. Everything was perfect, almost painfully so. I was sitting at the head table between my mom and one of Chloe's bridesmaids. Liam and Chloe were across from me, glowing. Liam was talking, laughing, completely oblivious. But I could feel Chloe's eyes on me. Every time I looked up, she was watching me over the rim of her champagne flute. The toast started. Her dad went, my dad went. All the usual stuff. So proud. Welcome to the family, beautiful couple. Then it was my turn. I stood up, pulled the note card from my pocket, and gave my speech. I talked about growing up with Liam, about how happy I was that he'd found someone who made him so happy. I ended with, "Chloe, you make my brother a better man. Welcome to the family." It was a solid, A+ best man speech. I nailed it. The room applauded. My mom dabbed her eyes. I sat down, feeling like I'd successfully navigated a minefield. But then Chloe's maid of honor, a girl named Jessica, got up to give her speech. And that's when the wheels started to come off. Jessica's speech was a rambling, drunken mess. She kept talking about their wild days in college and telling inside jokes nobody understood. It was cringeworthy. And through it all, Chloe just kept drinking. Not sipping, but knocking back full glasses of champagne like they were water. By the time Jessica finally wrapped up, Chloe was visibly wasted. Liam, bless his heart, just laughed it off. He put his arm around her and whispered something in her ear. But she just shrugged him off and grabbed the bottle from the ice bucket to refill her own glass. That should have been the first major red flag for everyone. But our parents just smiled, those tight, parental smiles that say, "We're ignoring this." The dinner wound down, and people started mingling. I was trying to make my escape, just get some fresh air, when Chloe intercepted me by the doors to the patio. "Mark," she said, her voice a little too loud. She practically draped herself over me. Her speech was slurred. "There you are. I was looking for you." "Hey, Chloe. You okay? You've had a lot of champagne," I said, trying to gently untangle myself. "I'm perfect," she slurred, poking me in the chest. "Your speech was so sweet. So sweet. You're always so sweet." "I'm just happy for you guys," I said. It felt like the safest sentence in the English language. She leaned in closer, and her voice dropped to a conspiratorial whisper. Her breath was pure champagne. "You know, it should be you." My blood went cold. I felt a freezing sensation creep up my spine. "What are you talking about, Chloe? You're drunk. Let's find Liam." "No," she said, her grip tightening on my arm. Her eyes were unfocused, but her intensity was terrifying. "I'm not that drunk. I know what I'm saying. It's always been you. You see me. Liam. Liam loves the idea of me. The perfect, pretty girl. But you've always known, haven't you?" This was my worst nightmare coming true. Every weird look, every lingering touch, it wasn't in my head. It was real. And it was all coming out, in a torrent of drunken honesty, the night before she was supposed to marry my brother. "Chloe, stop," I said, my voice low and firm. I looked around desperately. My parents were chatting with her parents. Liam was talking to an uncle. No one was watching. "You're about to marry my brother. You don't mean this. This is the champagne talking." "Is it?" she said, with a sad, sloppy smile. "I've been telling myself that for 5 years. But every time you walk into a room, my heart does this stupid little flip. It's so annoying. Why couldn't you have been the one I met first?" I felt sick. It wasn't flattering. It was horrifying. This wasn't some romantic movie moment. This was a betrayal of the highest order, and I was being made an unwilling participant. "You need to go to your fiancée," I said, finally prying her fingers off my jacket. "This conversation is over." It never happened. I turned and walked away. I didn't look back. I went straight out to the parking lot, got in my car, and just sat there for 10 minutes, my heart pounding in my chest. What the hell was I supposed to do? Tell Liam? The night before his wedding? Ruin everything based on the words of a drunk bride-to-be? Or say nothing, and let him walk down that aisle and marry a woman who had just confessed her love for me? I chose what I thought was the lesser of two evils. I drove home, telling myself she would wake up, full of regret, and this would all just be a horrible, unspoken secret. I was so wrong. The next morning, the morning of the wedding, I woke up to a dozen missed calls from Liam and my mom. My gut clenched. I knew. I called Liam back. His voice was tight with a weird mix of confusion and anger. "Mark, what the hell did you do?" "What? What are you talking about?" I asked, my voice hoarse. "Chloe told me everything," he said. "How you cornered her last night. How you told her she was making a mistake and that she should be with you. What is wrong with you, man? Are you that jealous? You're trying to ruin my wedding day." I was speechless. My brain literally short-circuited. She had flipped the entire thing. Flipped it and fed it to him. And he was eating it up. "Liam, that's not what happened," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. "She was the one who came up to me. She was wasted, and she was saying crazy things. I just walked away." "That's not what she says," he shot back. "She says you were being aggressive, that you tried to kiss her. She's in her hotel room crying, Mark. Crying. On her wedding day. Because of you." The sheer audacity of it was breathtaking. She wasn't just lying. She was a master artist painting a masterpiece of deception. I was the villain, the jealous brother trying to steal his brother's fiancée. It was so perfectly diabolical because it played on every insecurity, every family dynamic. Of course, the quiet, single older brother would be jealous of the golden child's perfect life. It was a story people would believe. "Liam, I swear to you, on our family, that is a complete lie. She is manipulating you," I pleaded. "I don't know what to believe," he said, and his voice cracked. That was the worst part. He didn't know. He wanted to believe me, his brother, but the woman he was about to marry was telling him the exact opposite. "Mom and Dad are on their way to talk to you." Oh, great. The cavalry was coming. My parents arrived an hour later. They didn't come in for a discussion. They came in for an execution. My mom was furious. My dad was sternly disappointed. It was a classic combo. Mark, I cannot believe you. My mom started, not even sitting down. After everything we've done for you, you try to sabotage your own brother's happiness? Chloe is a wonderful girl, and you have terrified her. She's lying, Mom. I said, my voice flat. I was past the point of pleading. She got drunk and confessed to me that she's in love with me. I shut her down and left. My dad scoffed. Oh, please, Mark. A girl like Chloe? In love with you? Let's be realistic. She's head over heels for your brother. You were jealous, you had too much to drink, and you did something stupid. Now you need to fix it. I just stared at them. It wasn't even about the truth anymore. It was about protecting the fantasy. The fantasy of the perfect family, the perfect couple, the perfect wedding. And I was the glitch in the matrix that needed to be deleted. How do you suggest I fix it? I asked, my voice dripping with a coldness I didn't know I possessed. You are going to go to that hotel, my mom commanded. You are going to apologize to Chloe. And then, at the reception, during the toasts, you will get up and make a small speech about how you were out of line and wish them both a lifetime of happiness. You will smooth this over. An apology. They wanted me to apologize for something I didn't do. To validate her lie. To publicly humiliate myself to preserve her deception. That was the moment something inside me snapped. The patient, reasonable, peacekeeping Mark checked out. He packed his bags and left the building. In his place was someone else. Someone who was done. No, I said. My mom's jaw dropped. I don't think I'd ever said a flat no to her in my entire adult life. What did you say? She stammered. I said no. I will not apologize for something I didn't do. I will not be a pawn in her little game. And if Liam chooses to believe her over me, then that's his choice. But I am done. The fight was biblical. They screamed. They threatened. They told me I was selfish, that I was tearing the family apart. They said if I didn't do this, I wasn't welcome at the wedding. Fine, I said. Then I won't be there. I spent the rest of the morning in a daze. I was officially uninvited from my own brother's wedding, where I was supposed to be the best man. My family had chosen a liar over me. I felt this hollow, empty feeling in my chest. It was grief, I think. Grieving a family I thought I had. I was packing a bag, thinking about just driving to the coast for a few days, when my phone buzzed. It was a notification from my phone's cloud service. Your device storage is full. Annoyed, I opened it up to delete some old photos and videos. And then I saw it. From the night before. A voicemail. I never check my voicemail. But there it was, a 2-minute message from Chloe, time-stamped about 30 minutes after I'd left the rehearsal dinner. My hands were trembling as I hit play. Her voice filled my apartment, sloppy and slurring and thick with tears. Mark? Are you there? Pick up. I know you're mad at me, but you can't just leave. You can't. I meant what I said. I think I love you. And I'm marrying Liam tomorrow, and it's a huge, huge mistake. Oh God, what am I doing? He's so nice. But he's not you. You get me. Just call me back. Please. I listened to it once. Then a second time. And then a third. It was everything. It was the truth. It was a nuclear bomb in the palm of my hand. My first thought was to send it to Liam. Just text it to him and let the chips fall where they may. But then I thought about my parents. About how they would try to spin this. They'd say I provoked her. They'd say she was just drunk and confused. They would find a way to make it my fault. No, a private reveal wasn't enough. The lie was public, so the truth had to be public, too. I called the DJ for the wedding, a guy I'd worked with on the planning. I told him I had a last-minute surprise for the bride and groom, a heartfelt audio message I wanted to play during the ceremony. He was all for it. How romantic, he said. He told me he could patch my phone into the main speaker system. All I had to do was give him a signal. I put on my tux. I drove to the church. I walked in like I belonged there, 10 minutes before the ceremony was set to start. My parents saw me, and their faces went white with rage. My mom started walking towards me, fury in her eyes. What are you doing here? She hissed. I told you that you weren't welcome. I'm the best man, I said calmly. I'm not going to abandon my brother. Liam saw me and just looked lost. He was standing at the altar, looking pale and sick. He didn't know who to trust, what to believe. He just knew his world was falling apart. I took my place next to him. I'm here for you, man, I whispered. He just gave a weak, uncertain nod. The music started. The procession began. And then Chloe appeared at the back of the church. She was a vision in white. Beautiful. Radiant. A complete and total fraud. When her eyes met mine, her smile faltered for a fraction of a second. She knew I hadn't apologized. She knew I hadn't bent the knee, and I could see a flicker of fear in her eyes. She glided down the aisle, took Liam's hands, and the ceremony began. My heart was a drum against my ribs. I felt like I was outside my own body, watching a movie. The preacher droned on about love and commitment and honesty. The irony was so thick I could barely breathe. And then came the words, "Does anyone here object to this union? Speak now, or forever hold your peace." Silence. Every eye in the place turned to me. Liam. My parents. Her parents. It was like they all expected me to be the one to finally break. Chloe locked her gaze on me, her eyes pleading. Pleading for me to stay silent, to swallow the lie, to let her get away with it. I held her gaze. I gave a small, almost imperceptible shake of my head. No, no more. I didn't say a word. I just caught the DJ's eye and gave him the signal. A small crackle came from the speakers. And then, Chloe's drunken, sobbing voice filled every corner of that sacred, silent church. "Mark, are you there? Pick up." The reaction was instantaneous and catastrophic. A collective gasp went through the crowd. Chloe's face crumbled. The color drained from her skin until she was whiter than her dress. Liam's head snapped towards her, his expression shifting from confusion to horrified understanding. My mom made a sound like a strangled sob. "I think I love you. And I'm marrying Liam tomorrow, and it's a huge, huge mistake." Her parents were on their feet, yelling, "Turn it off. Turn that off." But the DJ just looked at me, and I shook my head. "He let it play? He's so nice. But he's not you. You get me. Just call me back. Please." The voicemail ended. The silence that followed was the loudest thing I've ever heard. It was absolute, deafening. Liam slowly let go of Chloe's hands, as if they were on fire. He looked at me, and for the first time in 24 hours, he saw the truth in my eyes. The devastation on his face was brutal, but it was mixed with something else, relief. The relief of knowing he wasn't crazy. He turned back to Chloe. He didn't yell. He didn't scream. His voice was quiet, hollowed out. "Get out," he said. "Liam, baby, I can explain," she started, grabbing for his arm, tears streaming down her face. I was drunk. I didn't know what I was saying. "Get out," he repeated, louder this time, pulling his arm away. And that was it. The wedding was over. Chloe, sobbing, was let out of the church by her parents. My parents were frozen in their pew, looking at me with a mixture of hatred and shock. The guests started murmuring, then talking, then leaving in a flood of chaos and gossip. In the end, it was just me and Liam, standing at the altar of his ruined wedding. He walked over to me, and for a second I thought he might punch me. I wouldn't have blamed him. Instead, he just pulled me into a hug. A tight, desperate hug. "Thank you," he whispered into my shoulder. "I'm so sorry I didn't believe you." The aftermath was messy, as you can imagine. Liam called the whole thing off, obviously. He went no contact with our parents for about 6 months. He needed space to heal, to figure out who he was without their golden child narrative suffocating him. Chloe just vanished. I heard through the grapevine she moved to another state. Good riddance. My parents? Well, they still think I'm the bad guy. Not for exposing the lie, but for the way I did it. For airing our dirty laundry in public and causing a scene. They think I should have just told Liam quietly, as if that would have ever worked. They still don't get that the secrecy, the keeping up appearances, was the problem in the first place. Our relationship is strained, to say the least. We talk on holidays. It's polite. It's cold. But Liam and I, we're better than ever. The whole ordeal forced us to actually be brothers, not just characters in our parents' play. We talk. We're honest with each other. He's dating someone new now, someone quiet and kind and who looks at him like he's the only person in the world. Sometimes I feel a pang of guilt for the sheer level of destruction I caused that day. But then I remember Chloe's eyes in that church. I remember the lie she was willing to tell, the life she was willing to build on that lie. And I remember my brother's hug at the altar. And I know, without a doubt, I did the right thing.